Hello and welcome back to Disney Dreamlight Valley. I want to talk a little bit more about the multiplayer. So, me and Jimmy have been testing... Oh, we got some soufflés. Been testing the multiplayer for a while, basically testing out its limits, testing out its abilities. And if you want to see our whole testing process, I uploaded that video yesterday. It's been a couple hours since then, and me and Jimmy tried to grind as many of the shards as possible. What's the name of the shard? God damn it, the pixel shards. And basically I want to share in this video how difficult it is to grind those shards and how to find them and what can you possibly craft with them. We're actually going to craft every single item with these shards. Let's actually start with crafting the items. So I only have 15 pixel shards on me, glitched pixel shards. And I'm gonna craft every single item available by using game reset. So I'm gonna craft an item, place it, look at it, and then reset the game so I can craft the next item. So that's how we're gonna go about it. Let's make sure I save the game so it doesn't auto-save on me. And let's take a look at all the items. So let's start with a glitchy pixel duplicate. So I'm going to craft one of these. No, actually, I'm going to start with the nice ones that I'm most curious about, because in case it doesn't work, I don't want to not be able to see what these things are all about. So pixelized cooking flame. Let's make one of these. Looking pretty cool. I have no idea what this is. And superior pixelized cooking flame. I have no clue what this is, what it does. But we're gonna explore it now and try to figure it out. Creates an additional meal when cooking. Good for 10 uses. Interesting. Creates an additional meal when cooking. Good for 25 uses. So this is like a potion that multiplies your cooking. So I thought it was purely cosmetic. I thought it was gonna be like a furniture item. Let's see how it looks when you drop it. Oh my god, this looks actually super cool when you drop it. And it spins towards you? I don't care about what it does for cooking. All I care about is that this is an insanely cool decor item. Oh my god, I can already see all the cool things. Can you actually put it like on a table or something? Let's see. You can pick it up. You can move it. Yes, you can place it on top of things. This is a game changer. This is going to be one of the coolest effects to use in Dream Snaps. Imagine a bunch of these in a row. Oh my god. I'm sure a lot of people are going to see these items. Like, look how cool this looks. This is sick! Tell me this is not sick. Who cares what they do? I mean, I care what they do. I kind of want to test it out. So basically, these are considered to be potions. So let's see how they work. So if I cook something, I'm assuming I'll be able to use it maybe instead of the coal. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. So let's say I make some Arendelian pickled herring out of fill. Wait, am I supposed... Oh, I think I'm supposed to use it. Okay, let's use it. Use. So it's like... So it's just used. So let's see what we do. Now, if I cook Arendelian pickled herring... I have none of them in my inventory. And we get +1. So this is how this works. Oh, what is this? What is this on the right? 4... What is this icon? 4 and a timer. You get another +1. 3. Ooh, what does that mean? What is that counter? What's gonna happen if I run out of counter? Let's see what happens when I run out of counter. Oh, that's the counter for the potion. Okay, I see now. I see how this works. All right, let's reset and try again. Ah, it did not work. The reset did not work. I wonder why. Wait, are you telling me that the Scrooge resets don't work anymore either? So you cannot just simply reset the thing?
I have the most wonderful
Oh, that is unfortunate. So I can't grind these glitchy pixel duplicates. Well, I guess it's back to grinding these glitchy, pixel thingies. Oh my god, Jimmy and Amanda are absolutely saving me right now. They invited me to Jimmy's Valley to give me some extra shards. So in case you're wondering how these shards look at the ground, I'm gonna try to find one. Now, from what I'm hearing, most of the people say that most of the shards appear on the beach for them. For me personally, most of the shards appeared in Meadow or in Plaza. So it's really hard to tell, but right now it doesn't seem to be. From my experience, it doesn't seem to be any logic or any like biome that the shards like to appear more than the others. Some people say it's on the beach. For me, it's Meadow. I found like half of my shards in Meadow, so hard to tell. Also, another thing about these shards is that only you can see them. So each person that's currently in the island will have their own set of shards, and you can only see your shards, and you can only pick up your shards, and other players will see their own set of shards, and they will be able to pick them up. So by that logic, it probably doesn't matter how many people are in the like visiting at the same time in like for the amount of shards that spawn. It's just more shards will spawn because more people will be around. And that will mean that more people will get the shards. But each person should get about the same amount of shards. So let's talk about the spawn rates. The spawn rates are, from my experience, not that great. But it's really hard. It's really hard to determine the spawn rates because the shards can appear pretty much anywhere. So it might take you a while to stumble on one, or you can find a bunch of them in a row. I'm pretty convinced that they can spawn in batches, because once I actually found 3 shards that I'm pretty sure weren't there like a minute ago, pretty much very close to each other. So it is a possibility that they spawn in the same way that the wood in this game spawns, which is in batches of 1 to 3. Randomly and until certain points. So maybe there is a limit how many shards can spawn at the same time until you pick some of them up. I'm trying to find 1 shard just to show it to you. It's really difficult, and it's even more difficult if you have a lot of your valley decorated, because then it's gonna be like it can spawn in the middle of stuff, and it's gonna be nearly impossible to find. I just came to this valley, so it's probably gonna take quite a few minutes for my first shard to spawn, so I'll see you when I get one. And here it is, 1 shard on schedule. So Amanda said she's been averaging about 7 shards every 30 minutes, which would imply potentially maybe 1 shard every 4 to 5 minutes. If my logic is correct, and sometimes it will spawn more than 1, potentially 2 or 3 at a time, maybe it's every 10 minutes, just like flowers and spices and on average. So then you could spawn 1, then 2, then 3, and get about 6-7 shards every 30 minutes, depending on your luck. So that seems to be about the same rate that I had before. I would say 5 to 7 every 30 minutes. But it does require you to pretty much constantly run around and look for them. It's really hard to just stumble upon them, and you definitely, if you want to maximize your efficiency in getting as much shards as possible, you're gonna have to run around and look for them. And it doesn't really matter if you have other people around, because they're not going to be able to help you. They will be looking for their own shards. But it does make sense for 4 people just to come together in the same valley. Potentially, if you're gonna choose which valley to use to look for shards, I would choose the one that has the least amount of stuff placed in the valley, like the least decorated valley. Potentially just bare valley. Also, so far it doesn't look like you can actually go to Eternity Isle with the multiplayer, I'm pretty sure. I'm also curious, what if you placed this thing in Eternity Isle? Maybe I should test it out. Maybe it's not gonna let you. I don't think it gave me a choice to have it in my inventory at any point, so I don't think it's possible. It would be cool though to be able to visit somebody in their isle as well. That could be a good incentive for people to actually buy the expansion if you could only visit other people's expansions, like Isles, Eternity Isles, if you are an owner of Eternity Isle expansion yourself. So, missed opportunity there, but hopefully they're going to introduce that functionality soon. Anyway, I don't really need any more shards. Amanda just gave me 15, so thank you so much for that. Let's go back home and try to craft the remaining 2 items. Alright, let's give it a try. We have Glitchy Pixel Duplicate. Let's craft one. And we have a large one. So I'm assuming this is going to be some kind of a consumable as well. So... oof. Expensive. Build stuff. What? Ooh, we just got a thing done. Okay. So what do these things do? Wait, 17... oh! This special item creates 10 shards that can be used as a substitute for almost any crafting material. Oh! So one Glitchy shard can substitute... oh. How does this work? How does this work? I need to figure this out. So for example, I want to craft, let's say, an iron crafting station. Okay, I figured it out. So it doesn't work for all the recipes, but it does work for some recipes. I have no idea what logic it uses, which to work, which not to work. Maybe just the new items. But as you can see, for example, here I tried to craft this covered canoe, and I'm missing one rope. So instead I can just use one of these little glitches to basically craft covered canoe. And the more you make, the more you can use of this. I'm kind of curious why it doesn't work for everything. It seems to work, like it definitely works for new items. You gotta be careful though, because sometimes you would want to craft something and you're going to be missing potentially some very cheap resource. Like for example, here I'm missing quartz. Quartz is pretty easily mineable on Eternity Isle. So if you want to craft it and you don't pay attention, you just see that it's available, and you might actually use 4 of these glitch bags instead of some cheap resource that you could have easily just grinded, and that's going to be very, very sad. Wow, these can be crafted by crates. Like for example, let's find something that is like really would be very unfortunate to use this thing to craft. Like this, Autumn Wreath. I could just make one rope, but instead I'm just gonna have to waste a whole glitch shard. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out what would be the use for it, because I don't see what is going to be harder to get, which resource is going to be harder to get than getting one of these shards, because it's such a pain to go... like you have to find a friend, then you have to get a code from them, then you're gonna go to the title screen, then you're gonna get a input the code, wait for your friend to actually be online and have their valley open, which basically means your friend has to sacrifice their own exploration time because they cannot do nothing while you're in their valley. And then you run around, find a couple of these. Like, I don't see a scenario where this would be easier than getting one of any item in the game. Like, it can only replace one, and there is not a single item in the game, in my opinion, that is more valuable than... and you cannot do this on potions, apparently, because it doesn't let you replace... Oh, maybe it doesn't let you replace Vitalisk crystals, because I need 20 and I don't have enough. That's an interesting theory. I might need to test it. Oh yeah, here we go. Here, I can use 6 to replace 5 night shards and 1 dream shard. Wow, okay, that would be pretty, yeah, pretty bad, because these guys are pretty easy to get. So, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this shifted bag. I don't think you should craft one. Honestly, my recommendation, I don't think the flame is worth it either. Okay, you will spend 10 shards to get 25 extra meals. That is just not worth it in any shape or form. There's not a single meal in this game that's worth duplicating. Like, ingredients are not that difficult. At least in this case, it's a little bit more, you get more value, because if you're doing a very expensive meal, you could basically use one of these, less than 1 shard to substitute 5 ingredients. Pretty much. But still, it's just not worth it whatsoever. The best use, in my opinion, the best use for these crystals is going to be actually using these fires as decorations, because look how freaking cool this looks. And it rotates, and it can be in camera, so you can use it in dream snaps. Look at this. Look at this dream snap. You could make a wall of them and have like a... Wow, look at this. If this is not the coolest thing, like, this is my favorite thing about this, the Pixel Shards. It looks incredible. Everything else seems like a little bit of a scam. Yeah, so I'm gonna make a whole separate video on how do I think multiplayer should be improved in the next update. A lot of people, I feel like, got an impression that I hate multiplayer, and I think, like, because I said in the previous video that it's disappointing, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I think it's underwhelming, and definitely not finished or polished in any shape or form, but I think the foundation is there. I think it has a great foundation, and they did say that they're gonna basically roll it out and then listen to people's feedback and improve it in the future. So that is why I'm very hopeful and optimistic and overall positive about multiplayer. Right now, I don't think I'm going to be using it very often, but I definitely going to use it enough to gather some feedback and potentially help developers to improve it in the future. Anyway, oh my god, these fires are so cool! I just can't get over it. They're just incredible. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to all of our supporters. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you feel like these shards are... like, would you actually use the cooking flame to get extra meals? In what cases do you think it's worth it? Definitely not on pumpkin puffs. And also the problem is you're actually gonna have to cook... I mean, maybe if you have really lots and lots and lots of these shards, if you play a lot of multiplayer and you just keep finding them all the time... But grinding for these shards on purpose to duplicate your meals, it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it's much easier to just collect certain ingredients and make those extra meals the regular way. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more update content, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.